All right, I'm here once again from the Pixelpokal in Hanover, but this time I'm not joined by a player. I'm joined by the guy himself.
Well, technically, you're also joined by a player, just a player that couldn't play today.
Wow, sucks to be you.
Yeah, it
Well,
sucks to be me.
anyways, actually, we should all thank you because this guy, I'm gonna run it down before he can tell everything that he wants to tell you guys about this event. This guy just TO'd, did the host, was also a commentator, and if you needed anything, he was doing anything all the time between anything. Also he did the notes for the stream and everything. There is one thing that he hasn't done for this event. So I'm obviously joined by Tails. If you are not familiar to his face, Tails, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Extremely exhausted, as you might imagine. You already counted what I did. It always feels weird, at the end of the event, I didn't really feel like I did a lot. I'm always like, oh man, Kardovika really did a lot of work. It's like, oh man, Kuba did really a lot of work. And now I'm thinking, it's like, oh man, the only thing I did was stand on stage with a microphone. It's like, all I did. It's really weird to always have that feeling after a tournament.
Well, I mean, you need a team to do this anyways.
Yeah, of course, we need a team to do that. And we had a fairly good team today, and of course we had myself, obviously for commentary, hosting, and all that. But Kardovika and Kuba, obviously two very good TOs, of course, respectively for Virtual Smash and Smashvik. Fantastic series here in the region, maybe the two best. And of course our TO helpers, shoutouts to Kappa, shoutouts to Illepanta, shoutouts to Liv, of course, for the stream, always fantastic. And also the TOs helpers like Chip, Santos, Lux, everybody just did fantastic work. It's an event where the community from around Hanover came together just to put on a good event. The event was looking a little bit rough somewhere in the middle, but we made it work. I think from what I can tell from the invitees, what they told me, it's been doing well. It's been a good event.
Well, the best events are the ones where you just get through and nobody noticed there was any stress, right?
Yeah. This event, I don't know how to put it.
Well, I mean, just getting done, I think is the most important. And today was no issues at all, right?
Of course, we had a couple of issues. We had 6 hours to run by the entire bracket, an invitational bracket at that. Usually we take 4 hours for a top 8 alone if we put the entire top 8 on stream. So putting an invitational on stream, I went into it thinking, okay, I want every player to have one set on stream. I don't care who they are, I want them to have one set on stream. So I let the entire Winners Round 1 be streamed, which of course it's very ambitious, and somewhere in the middle they had a lot of Game 5 sets, so we were looking to be behind on schedule for a bit, so I had to cut 1, 2, 3 matches out, but on the way back we were looking really good on schedule. I think we finished on pinpoint 5 minutes before 9 p.m. So we finished perfectly, but it's still unfortunate. Of course, we had to cut 2, 3, 4 sets from the stream, of course. But overall, except for that part with the time constraints, we didn't have too many issues going into it. Of course, some things with the seating, the previous TO, forgot to mention 1, 2 things to me, and so I had to change it on the day today. But other than that, it's been going good today.
All right. So before we actually I ask one of my 1,000 questions that I have for you, I have to ask one, and I think everybody wants to know: how do you know so much about any player? Everything, you know about anyone, everything. You know what they play, what they played, where they placed, results, anything. How?
It's very simple. I just really like the game. I like the community. I like the players. I started out as a guy from Bremen, and it always really had an impact on me, just how little people know. And one of the first people I met was Lux, and he was the walking database back then. So I was very impressed. I came over for my first week. There was a guy barely known. I come in and he's like, hi. And he's like, oh wait, you're Tails. I'm like, how the hell does he know who I am? It's like, damn, man. And when it comes to seeding and all that, people always had bad seeding at tournaments. My friend was really good for my region. Jules went to a tournament in North Westphalia, got a random seed and got 3rd place. I was like, man, how do you random seed a guy who's good like that? He gets 3rd. I was very impressed by how little people know. So I wanted to be the exception. So I wanted to be the guy who knows everything. And I guess that's where I am right now. I watched all tournaments. I tried to be as active as possible in the community, get to know as many people as possible. And it's very easy to do all these things if you like the community and if you like, of course, the game as much.
And what about playing? You took a break, but I heard you're coming back.
Yeah, of course I took a break. Most people might know I took a 3-4 month break. After somewhere at the beginning of March, I stopped playing competitively. The problem is right now I'm interested, of course, in playing and competing, but the problem is I don't have a lot of time these days. I started my apprenticeship last week, so if I have any time, it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's 3 hours a day. That's all I have. And I'm still attending as much as I can. I'm going to 2 tournaments as a competitor for the next month. It's Seal the Deal at the end of August and HGS in the middle of September. Trying to do my best, but like, of course, I'm doing the shift from like this really lazy student to like the guy who actually works full time now, and it's gonna be kicking my ass a couple of times. But I'm probably looking into like playing again in some way, shape, or form. Though my priority right now isn't really becoming like the best, or, like improving a lot. My priority right now is like playing with the people from my region, trying to improve the people who I have in my home city, like all the mid-level players like Maruta or Drakus or Favor Saver. I want to get these people up to like a level where I can play with them, and playing with them is gonna do me good, because let's be real right now, if I play with them, I can only do like basic stuff like improve my advantage state, like maybe learn this and that. But if I put them out to like a level where they become solid opponents, it's gonna be much easier for me in the future. It's like a long-term investment I'm doing right now. Of course, I could do Wi-Fi weeks with North American people, but I think for like 1-2 years in the future, it's much better of what I'm doing right now. It's like putting my regional community first, and then maybe seeing into improving myself in the near future at some point.
Or running an invitational with 12 different countries and probably 14 of the best players that we have in Europe right now. Is that something that you want to do more, or like can you tell a little bit about the how it came to this, how it actually happened?
Of course, like if hosting a tournament like this, of course capabilities are always restricted. Like we started this thing with like, okay, we have a budget for like, of course the tournament prize pool, and of course for like streams and all that. So if we have a budget like that, I can easily just do it again, except if it's like really far away. If, like this region, obviously I can do it anytime. But like it's really stressful first of all, and we need like a starting budget. We need an idea. And Marco from Pixelpokal, he approached us already. He approached Suna with the idea of that. Let's host this invitational thing. We can make this work, and we are like, okay, yeah, we can make this work, and that's basically how it came to be. We had a starting idea, and we had some starting funding, I might say, to make the entire thing work. Outside of that, it's really hard to pull it off.
So, before I let you go, have some well-earned, deserved dinner. What do you want to happen from now on? Because like, this event was beautiful. People are traveling. People are happy to play with others and really going all the way to practice, improve in Ultimate, and really go really high. But what is missing right now? Like, what do we need in the next 6 months to 1 year to happen so Ultimate becomes a better esports?
I think it always sounds arrogant, but the community needs more people like me. It sounds arrogant, but I like saying that. We need more people who are doing proactive things, right? We need content creators like Moitrich who do videos for PRs. We need people like me who host tournaments or do these kinds of things. We need people like Tadavid ID who are trying to push the regional to like a national level. We need people like Hardovika who put up fantastic tournaments, or people like Lucky and Sabak who actively travel. Maybe even people who like coach others, like Tsuna did on his stream and like in his regional community a lot. Just people who do things. That's what we need, right? There's a lot of people out there who play the game, but they aren't really active. They're just playing. But I think if you're doing something other than playing, it's gonna help both you and the community much more. And I want to see more of that. And I think to really grow as a community, we need to get in more players. It's very simple sounding, but like we need more players. When I look at our weeklies in Bremen, we have 30 attendees. Very solid number, but like it's usually the same 20 people over and over again, maybe 25, and like maybe 5 new people, and these 5 new people, they just drop out every time. It's like 5 new come in, some 5 leave, and if we wanna make Smash big, we need like more attendees, we need more people who do things, and the combination of both is probably gonna do us good in the future. But of course, if we're looking at like other countries, what we have right now, Germany is lacking in, of course, sponsor department. If I look over at France, every player is sponsored, right? Pure is out here with a sponsor from Listream Esports. He's wearing a jersey with a Subway logo. I'm like, oh damn. Well, I'm wearing this. Cool. So what's the next step? There, of course, we need more sponsors. Like, shout out to My Revenge, of course. They're sponsoring a lot of people, but we need more teams instead of like one that sponsors everybody. We need more teams. We need more sponsors, and we need to somehow grow as a community. I don't know how we do it, but like that's what we need to do.
All right. So any shoutouts left?
Of course, shout out to all the buddies out here. They are helping me out with the TOing. Kuba, Hardovika, Slux, Santo, Chip, Happy Life, everybody who was involved in the tournament. Zizi Kappa, this big fly over there, I don't know what he's doing. Elefanta, Meruem for hosting everybody. Of course, the 14 invitational people who are showing up. It's incredible that people are going out here for an invitation with a couple euros price pot. They're paying out of their own pocket, like flying from France all the way over here, for example. really interesting. So shout outs to them, of course, everybody who plays with me regularly, who goes to tournaments, who attends stuff, all the content creators like you, Moitrich, etc. Thanks to everybody who's doing good work for the Smash community just in general. That's it.
All right, that's the word. Gotta end it here. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel, follow this guy on Twitter, and there will be some more interviews coming, so stay tuned. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.